Thanks, Dan, for your nice input here. He's been a raw foodist for 8 years too. 8 years, and you'd think in 8 years on raw food you'd get rid of RA, and I thought that back in the early '70s. But this is why I really found the herbs to be a blessing, because it really will slingshot your ability to find remedy. That's all I can say. And within those compounds or within those plants, there's just so much consciousness to help us, and that's why they're here. So really, you just keep working with that, Dan, and keep cleaning yourself out here. Someone asked me about growing herbs and stuff. This is the problem we have, is that different regions grow different herbs, and they're seasonal, and it depends on what herbs are where. But I would definitely have a lot of parsley, comfrey, dandelion green, things like that in my garden. Comfrey's a great plant. The FDA, it's just like licorice. They're blaming these alkaloids that causes liver damage. Well, there's only one person I know of, or group of people that isolate alkaloids out of plants, and that's pharmaceutical companies. Goes back to that ephedra case of that baseball player that died, so the FDA banned ephedra. The guy actually was taking diet pills ephedrine, which is the active principle in ephedra. And thank God there is at least one honest federal judge. It was a female. I had a female judge once, and she made a ruling against me, and she was so scared. The ruling was so against the law, because I had the law on my side. She wouldn't even put it in writing, and she looked at me, and I looked at her, and I knew she was being distruthful. Women tend to be harder to be untruthful for a woman than it is a male, apparently, which I like that, because, but this is the female federal judge, and she said, she said, you can't blame ephedra because of ephedrine, the active principle, and and that's the kind of honesty we need. This is the kind of honesty we need all through life here, with the FDA and with everybody here. What do you think we're doing with what does the FDA think they're doing? I mean, who are you doing it against? This thing about money. We ought to just go to the beach out here and start trading shells. There's an island there that finds beautiful shells and trades it for money. Let's start doing that. I mean, money, what's money? This is about enjoying a rock, spinning through space if we can. I'll get more with some herbs maybe for you there, but again, they're seasonal. Really not my gig, honestly. I'm more clinical practicing and formula maker, so I'm not much into growing those things, to be honest with you. There's just too much. We each can only do so much. But I'm going to look for some good organic growers, because this project that we have going, we're going to create some herb farms and some stuff, so I'm probably going to need a lot of help. Let's see, Full Heart, you're a sweetheart. I appreciate the comments. I love you too. Polytheistic kidneys. Isn't it funny that you're starting to see kidney problems all over? This lady's whole family has kidney problems. Her brother's on dialysis, 12 years, is near death. That's because the acid strip, dialysis is a very toxic procedure. We've got a ton of those and working them off of it, but it's a trip, because once you go on dialysis, then they play this game of potassium and phosphorus, and they acid strip the blood. The blood is an alkaline, is a predominantly base chemistry. I remember I had a dialysis nurse in here one time, very sick, and she had told me that she went to her medical doctor, and he asked her, what kind of nurse are you? And she said, I'm a dialysis nurse, and he said, get out. So all I can say is that if you ever had dialysis or see someone, it just strips you down. Your blood pressure drops, your nutrition in your blood drops. If you're on dialysis, pump My God's Blend or a superfood blend. Pump it after each session. Dialysis generally Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. If you're still urinating, you're in good shape. If you're not urinating, it makes everything so much harder. And a lot of times in dialysis, you're urinating when you go in, and some of the dialysis procedure ends up stopping you quicker than you would have. Remember, everything's swelling, everything's shutting down. And so really, everything's regenerable, everything can be cured. I don't care what. Polycystic kidney syndrome is another thing that's out there. So rebuild those kidneys. Get on those 2 kidney formulas. Get on a alkaline fruit diet. Beets, heavy beets. A good juice would be dandelion green, parsley, and beet bulbs. Even the beet tops, very powerful. All urinary tract, all adrenal glands. Beet. Someone said one time, try a 3-day beet juice fast. So I thought, well, okay, no big deal. I tried a 3-day beet juice fast. It doesn't sound like much. Oh, let me tell you, I thought my prostate was going to come out. You know what? I mean, that's strong, let me tell you. So I wouldn't go too strong, but you know, a lot of beets and dandelion greens and parsley. You can throw in a little basic carrot if you want. Throw anything else in there that you want, you know. But when you're on dialysis, you can't worry about this whole idea of sodium potassium foods. You're marching straight forward. Everything has sodium potassium in it. You're after regeneration of tissue. You want to get those kidneys filtering. The adrenal glands are the big problem here, of course. And remember, when you have dialysis, you're only cleaning the blood. Your lymph system is still getting worse, because they don't realize your kidneys filter the lymph system. That's why you see it back into the blood. It takes a while, but it'll start backing up with the blood, and all they're doing is cleaning the blood because they don't know how to clean the lymph system. The kidneys clean the lymph system. So this is a real big issue. Rebuild those kidneys, and this is, working on genetics, obviously. But you can rebuild genetic thinking of cells. Go after these cases. Kathy, really a true beauty. Yeah, I bet you are. You're a caring person here, and you're not hit it so bad. So you go after your kidney, sweetheart. You go after your health. You're focusing in the right direction here. There's no other direction. Find one and let me know. But go down this road and help your brother and stuff. There's no reason he should have to pass here. And get him back on the road of health and stuff. Let him review these videos and stuff on that. This one lady, I won't mention any names here, she had fibrocystic breast. Oh, she was talking about the love factor here, and how she had fibrocystic breast, and the love factor, in opening her heart and everything dissolved them. And this is so true, and you know why? Because you're relaxing and your kidneys are filtering. When you're stressed, just take a minute and look behind you. Your kidneys are shut down. Your epinephrine and norepinephrine is up. Your acetylcholine and dopamine down. Meaning your eliminative organs are shut down, and your adrenaline is up. Good point. You guys are so neat. I really love your conversations with me here, Crystal and Ascension. I love that one. You guys are so good. Keep it up. The love is good. And that's what we need to do. Build this YouTube site into a very powerful healing modality where people recognize the power of love and beauty and healing. I love it. It fills my mission here. You know what? I'm just not really into blue-green algae. This person asked me about that. I don't know if it's a big deal or not. My friend Dr. Jensen was heavy into split cell chlorella, although I always thought spirulina had a lot more going for it. But in reality, a single-celled organism, I say this, in detoxification, you leave these things off to the side, these proteins. If you want to take them later, go ahead. I don't really care. Again, I use palm scum basically because that's what it is, and everybody's trying to get rid of fungus, and yet this is kind of a family member in a way. So I don't know. You can. I think man is into so many bizarre things when all the good things. Remember that old saying that Ponce de Leon was seeking the fountain of youth, and he looked high and he looked low and he looked everywhere, and then he finally realized his horse was eating on it all the time. I mean, that's the problem.